Parasyte the Maxim, episode 14, The Selfish Gene. Now, unfortunately, I did have to watch this sub because, like I said in my last review, I wasn't going to have this be a full week late and wasn't able to get back home again this week, so I was like, I'm just going to watch it on Crunchyroll, so thank you, Crunchyroll, for actually having Parasyte. I got to see the full opening and ending, which was pretty cool. I do like the full opening more. The song was actually a bit cooler in the start than it is even in the regular one, which I already like, or in the American, even more edited down version of the opening. But it was a good episode. I really enjoyed it. We got to see Ryoko, or whatever fake name she wants to go by. We got to see her come back. We got to see her, silence the baby, shake the baby, hold the baby in a really weird position, just strolling up and down the street, which it was kind of funny, or not up and down the street, but up and down the hallways. But it's really weird that they're trying to develop, and she even mentions when she talks to Shinichi when they're on the roof, like, we've evolved as a species, but they haven't evolved nearly as much as they probably should be. I mean, it's hard to guess, they're fake creatures that don't really exist, so hopefully they don't. But it's hard to guess how well they evolve, but they do certain things and it's like, okay, they're banding together and stuff. They took a huge leap, not just killing a bunch of people because they realized that wasn't smart. And then we have this thing where she's like, I wanted to go to this lecture. That's a big deal. And she takes all these notes, she listens, here's about the selfish gene and altruistic behaviors and stuff like that. There's really no such thing as love and compassion. It's all about allowing your DNA to develop the best that it possibly can and continue on, in the world, and the issues and whatnot of that. And she gets up and she's just carrying this baby like it's like a freaking laptop bag or something. And it's just kind of funny. It's like she went through that whole lesson, which had to be, it's a college course. At least, I think the shortest a college class can possibly be is 50 minutes or something like that, possibly 45. And it's just like, nothing. It was like she took all those notes and stuff, and it seemed like all she really did, was focus on the two girls who clearly were getting Fs. They weren't focusing on anything but the baby, which I just thought that was really funny. Like, they're just like, oh wow, it's a baby, and they weren't moving whatsoever. Zero animation cost on them. It was just like, draw them looking down, and that was them the whole time they were in that classroom, which was just really funny. But it was kind of funny that she mentioned them evolving and stuff, and she goes through this whole class, and she's just strolling that baby along, swinging it through the air. She had to have gone, she's in a college, way more than just those two girls saw her and mentioned it, which is probably the only reason she ended up carrying it, so she wouldn't bring too much attention to herself, so she did like the normal position to carry a little baby. But it was just really interesting, and earlier in the episode she laughs when the investigator stumbles and stuff. And it was really weird. I'm still kind of confused about why she had like the weird white eyes when she was walking down the hallway, or actually walking down the street. I don't know why I'm mixing up streets and hallways, but I guess it's because she was kind of doing an inner monologue, and she was kind of thinking to herself, like, do I have to kill this guy and all this other stuff? Is he going to figure out exactly what I am? Is that too much of a risk? Is he going to try to pull some extra crap and try to kill Shinichi and Migi maybe, which would kind of, destroy one of our biggest experiments and, take away one of our greatest sources of answers as to how we can genetically mutate. And I'm guessing that's why that happened. She was genuinely laughing and she didn't realize it. And, she has like the crazy, white eyes and stuff, and she doesn't realize that she's laughing this entire time until she gets to the house. And when they do it there, she has the normal eyes again, so it's not like she's got like the white eyes and then she sees that she has white eyes and she kind of fixes it, like, oh crap, I didn't even realize what was happening, because I would assume they can see, but they do also use eyes. So if she doesn't have like the actual pupils there, I'm not 100% sure what that meant. But that was an interesting moment. She genuinely laughed, she genuinely smirked, and then it was like a really weird like evil villain laugh. And I don't know how many of you guys may have played or even seen the game Yandere Simulator, but they kind of have that in that game where you can just keep tapping the button where she laughs. And it starts off as like a little anime smirk, and then she gets like the evil crazy laugh where she's just like, ah ha ha ha. And that's what it was like to me. She's just had like the most open mouth laugh ever. And I was like, that's not really laughing, but I guess. She definitely had the evil villain laugh at the end, when she was kind of messing with Shinichi, and I was wondering what was gonna happen because I'm like I'm like he can't go crazy and kill this woman because she's got the baby, and of course she starts effing with him like, oh, your mom died, that's great, and it was just really weird. I was like, man, she's messing with him, and then of course he can't do anything because of the baby, and I don't know, that kind of pushed him beyond a limit we hadn't really seen before. We had it before where he was like, am I really human and stuff like that. And when he was leaving the school and he's like running past all these people, at first I legitimately thought he was going to just be in like this weird state of mind, which he really was. But I thought he'd be so far gone, he was going to like just leap over everybody and just out himself. No, I mean, a bunch of people would see it, but he'd be running way too fast for them to catch anything. But I was like, man, he might actually just forget what the heck he's doing because he's in like this crazy, state of rage, and he might just jump over everybody. I really thought for a second that I'm like, he's about to jump over all these people because he's so distraught right now, and he couldn't calm down. It wasn't like the other scenes where he's, affected by it, but he's able to just breathe. He was just really messed up because he, of course, had the memory, then he was taunted by it, and then you add those two horrible things with the fact that you have this parasite with a baby, and she's just like, oh, if you attack me, I'm going to have to use it as a shield. And it was just too much for him. And then he, of course, gets to the fortune teller at the end, and it was really weird. It was just like, oh, because I was wondering what he was going to say to that, like, oh, I killed that person and stuff, and, that's how it ended. But I was like, okay, well, he can't meet that person, but maybe he'll deflect and try to put it on Ryoko or something like that. It's kind of what I thought he was going to do, but he was just like, nope, I killed that person. And then it's just like, it's over. He has like the crazy smirk and everything. I was like, I killed that person. So I don't know what that really means. I don't know how far gone he really is. And of course, Migi had yet another moment where Migi seemed a lot more human. And as Shinichi said, could have easily been the fact that Migi was just saying that to get the investigator to, come to a certain mindset. But it still kind of says something. Like, you never really know, and there have been other moments, and I've mentioned those before, and they're few and far between, but they stand out when they show up in general because it's me. So that was definitely an interesting moment early on in the episode. We got to see Joe, who now has a name. So we see Joe and the human he's attached to, whose name I certainly can't remember. But we get to see them come back again. I love the facial thing where he was like making himself look like the bodyguard type of guy, and I thought that was funny. And then we see him later, and the face changes just enough to make the stupidest pointy face, and he's got like two little points sticking out at the bottom of his chin too. So that was pretty funny, but I liked the way that they did that. It was pretty interesting, and hopefully they'll be in the next episode. I would assume they aren't just going to show up in this and then they take off. So we're going to see what happens with this investigator now that he knows the truth, and he's also been scared out of, talking by both Migi and Joe. We'll see where that takes him. He might get himself killed. He really might. As Migi mentioned, Ryoko will probably kill him, and if he continues to investigate, most likely he's going to die. He knows the truth now, and that could be really bad for him if he decides to go after Ryoko. And I think he might. We got like a bit of information. We see that he has a daughter and he has a wife. And whenever that happens, it's like that character is kind of cemented into a series now. We got, two full episodes, or we had a full episode with him last time. And then this one, we get like the wife and daughter combo added in. So it's like he's going to be in the show. Maybe for the rest of it, if he lives. If not, then he's definitely, that just means he's going to end up investigating to a very dangerous point, and Ryoko's probably going to kill him. Or a really great twist would be if Shinichi and Migi did end up killing the guy, and, Shinichi didn't fight back or something, crazy like that. Or even if he did and it just didn't work the second time around, or, whatever. But, I don't know, it would be a really weird situation if that's what happened, because it would have to be Shinichi kind of just going out of control and somehow being able to take over and change Migi's form as well. So, unlikely, but you never really know. The show gets really crazy, so it could happen. But I really enjoyed this episode. I don't know what to expect for the next one because, of course, I saw it in the original version. The title is called Something Wicked This Way Comes. So I'm very excited for the next episode for sure. That it's got to be something there. So I'm really looking forward to the next one. But this was a really fun episode. It was good to see Shinichi kind of run back into Ryoko, and they didn't really get any answers. You know, he even asked about the whole mayoral thing, and it's like, meh, I don't know much about that either. At least that's what it said in Japanese. I'm sure it's the same thing. They didn't give any answers. But it's like, okay, well, not too many answers there. It's just cohabitation, and we'll see how it plays out. But it was definitely a fun episode, of course. Definitely want to know what you guys thought about it. So please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts, and what you guys think is going to happen with the baby. Because clearly some weird stuff is going on there. It can react to people. It reacted to both Ryoko as well as Shinichi when he was really hurt. But there's the crazy silence thing, and it's like, is it controlled as a parasite, or, you know, is it part parasite, at least in some form? Because I don't know how you just train a baby. You can't just be like, silence, and the baby shuts up just because you say silence. It's a baby. So there's got to be something there, and I'm very curious. And I mentioned this in the last episode. I believe it was the last one. You know, we aren't going to get a ton of stuff where it's like this baby grows up to be 8 years old and all this extra stuff. Unless it starts randomly growing super fast, which would be interesting as well. But I want to know your speculations on where they're going to take this, like, pseudo-parasitic baby. Like, I just don't know what guess to really have there, because it has to be something with the parasite for it to respond in that way where she can just be like, silence, and the baby just stops crying. So there's got to be something there outside of it's just a baby, you know, born from a human body. So I definitely want to know your speculations, so please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.